Today's middle class holds more academic degrees and higher absolute salaries than any generation in history. Yet millions of these households remain one unexpected bill away from total financial ruin. We often treat a promotion or a higher salary as the cure for this anxiety, assuming more money will automatically lead to more stability. Behavioral economics research suggests otherwise. When examining long-term wealth, the variance in income explains surprisingly little about who actually ends up rich. The primary barrier is psychological. Our brains operate on predictable patterns that shape our financial destiny long before we ever open a bank statement. The struggle to accumulate wealth is a biological mismatch. Our brains are naturally optimized for short-term survival, rather than the long-term discipline of modern finance. This chart illustrates lifestyle inflation. As the blue bar representing your income grows, the red bar of expenses almost always rises to meet it. Every raise or bonus is quietly absorbed into a slightly larger home or a newer car, keeping the gap between the two bars dangerously thin. Evaluating personal success is a relative process. We measure our worth by comparing our lifestyle to the people standing directly next to us. This drive for social signaling or conspicuous consumption keeps the spending treadmill moving. Research from the London School of Economics found that heavy social media users spend significantly more on status signaling goods. These users report greater financial dissatisfaction regardless of how much they actually earn. As the wealthiest individuals increase their spending on visible luxury, the baseline for what feels normal shifts upward for everyone else. This creates an expenditure cascade where even high earners feel pressured to spend just to keep pace. Rising incomes often secure nothing more than a more expensive baseline of financial stress. Even the households that manage to save a portion of their paycheck often hit a second invisible wall when they attempt to invest that capital. This imbalance is called loss aversion. As the diagram shows, the psychological pain of a loss physically outweighs the pleasure of an equivalent gain. We feel the sting of losing $1 twice as intensely as the joy of earning one. When every potential move feels like a dangerous risk, the brain demands perfect certainty before acting. In a complex financial world, this quest for perfection convinces many earners that wealth building is an insider's game they aren't qualified to play. This is learned helplessness, freezing them in analysis paralysis. Terrified of making a mistake, they leave their cash in a checking account. This allows inflation to act as a jagged line that slowly erodes its value, making the safe choice the most certain way to lose money. The search for a perfect, risk-free investment strategy is mathematically inferior to taking immediate, imperfect action. These poor financial choices often stem from a single biological root, the scarcity mindset. In 2013, economist Sendhil Mullainathan published a landmark study in the journal Science, revealing how financial pressure physically alters the brain's ability to process information. Financial stress consumes so much working memory that it reduces cognitive performance as severely as losing a full night's sleep. Under this pressure, our ability to think long-term simply evaporates. An exhausted brain seeks energy-saving shortcuts. It favors immediate, short-term comforts and defaults to emotional money scripts we inherited from our families, rather than using logical reasoning. A persistent state of financial fragility is a rational biological response to an overwhelming cognitive load. Relying on willpower to build wealth is a losing strategy because our mental resolve structurally buckles under the weight of financial pressure. To succeed, you must change your financial architecture so your brain is removed from the decision-making process entirely. The first step is automation. Pre-commit your future raises and bonuses to savings before they ever hit your account. This stops lifestyle inflation before it has a chance to normalize into your budget. Second, lower the threshold for action. Accept 80% certainty as the signal to move. This breaks the cycle of analysis paralysis and gets your capital into the market where it can actually work. Finally, reframe the concept of risk. You must train yourself to see holding idle cash as an actively losing strategy, shifting the weight of loss aversion in your favor. Ultimately, long-term wealth is the direct result of designing a system where active decision-making is no longer required.